People decide to have LASIK surgery for many reasons. One reason for nearly every one of them is to wake up in the morning and not have to reach for a pair of glasses or spend 2 minutes putting in contact lenses when you're barely awake.
Most people want to enjoy work and leisure time with clear vision too. Only the idea of eye surgery and being awake during it can be off-putting, and it can help to know more about it before opting in. That's why I recently sat down to talk with one of the best vision correction specialists in the country, Dr. Vance Thompson, to find out more. Vance, thank you so much for having us out here. We're talking about LASIK today. Talk to me a little bit about what LASIK really is.
Well, our cornea is the front window of our eye. And a lot of people don't realize that cornea, just because of its curvature, is the major focusing element of the eye. And so LASIK, for people that need to wear glasses to see good, changes that corneal curvature very precisely to, if they were born with that curvature, they wouldn't need glasses. And it's actually very specific math. And it is amazing for people that have nearsightedness, farsightedness, or astigmatism.
So you talked a little bit about nearsightedness and farsightedness, astigmatism. Who is the perfect candidate, or who's even eligible for LASIK?
I tell people in general, if you can see good with glasses or contacts, and you aren't seeing good without them, there's a very good chance you're a good candidate. If you have something going on that glasses or contacts won't correct, LASIK isn't going to correct either. You probably need something else. But if you see good with glasses, oftentimes LASIK can help you see good without them, as long as you're a good candidate.
It sounds like you're talking about me, and on top of it, I can't get my contacts in to save my life every day. So
right.
This is like
you'd be a good candidate.
Changing people's lives, right?
Right, exactly. And I see those people all the time.
Talk to me a little bit about getting prepared for LASIK, what really goes into it from the consumer side, from somebody getting the surgery, and also what's the recovery like?
So you've now found out you're a good candidate, you've been through the diagnostic. Some people come and have that done in the same day as a treatment. We actually call it a see and do, where they do their consultation and their treatment in the same day. And then a lot of people will do the consultation and then the treatment a different day. But now you're here for the actual laser treatment. And what we do is we just really clean around the eye to make sure it's nice and sterile. We use numbing drops only. You get a little relaxing medication, Valium, and then it's time to do the procedure. And that part really only takes a couple minutes to actually do the procedure.
Only a couple minutes?
Yeah, it is the actual laser being on time period is very, very short. And I think it's harder for people to think about than go through it. Lots of times they finish and they go, wow, that was much easier than I thought it was going to be. And when they're done, oftentimes their vision's a little blurry. They can typically sit up and see the clock for the first time since the first grade without glasses. But after the numbing drops wear off an hour later, they usually go through about 4 hours of scratchiness. That's why we tell them to just go home and relax. But the next day, they have legal driving vision without glasses, and they're ready to get back into life. And then there's a healing process for about 3 months. So even though someone's 20/20 or 20/25 the next day, it typically gets better. And then at 3 months, if it isn't just exactly the sharpness they want, we can fine-tune it. Most people don't need a fine-tune, but they sure like knowing they can have power added to it if they need it.
That's really impressive. It's amazing what the eye can do and what you can do when you go in with all the advanced surgery techniques that you have to fix it.
Right.
It's pretty impressive.
It really is amazing, and it's a real joy and honor to deliver it. And I think one of the important things for people to realize is even after you've had your vision corrected, you should still have yearly eye exams. And people always ask if it's permanent.
Yes, is it permanent?
Sometimes the internal eye can change, and it's one of the reasons we don't do 11-year-olds. It's because their eyes are still changing a lot. But once someone gets into their 20s and those prescription changes have slowed down, that's when it starts to be a good time to do it. We tell people that even though LASIK is permanent, the internal eye can still change. And the most common change we see is when someone gets into their mid-40s or 50s, the lens of their eye that sits behind their pupil that zooms in to read
That's what I was going to ask you.
Starting to get stiff. And now people drift into reading glasses, or if they had never done it, they'd be drifting into bifocals. Those internal eye changes still happen, but when you talk to patients that had it 20 years ago that are now 55 using reading glasses, they still get to enjoy doing life without glasses, except for up close. And I will tell you that one of the neat things about later in life, in the 60s and 70s, when people have cataract surgery, we can actually restore the reading range too, and give them 20/20 distance and 20/20 near.
Now, LASIK's amazing, but it can't actually stop you from aging, right?
It can't stop you from aging. That's exactly right.
Now, talk to me about somebody who's really not a great candidate for LASIK. Do they have other options?
Well, let's say someone does not see good with glasses. They might have a cataract or something else going on. But let's say there's someone who sees good with their glasses, but we tell them they're not a good candidate for LASIK. Their cornea isn't thick enough or something like that. We can do a procedure that's called PRK, where it's the same exact laser, but no flap. The healing process is a little slower, but it's also a powerful, wonderful procedure. Or you take it to the other end of the spectrum, a real high correction. You can actually do an implant. It's almost like a contact lens inside the eye. We call it a phakic, or PHAKIC implant. And it's amazing what that can do for people with real high corrections. And that's why it's good to, do your research. We got a great website to learn about PRK and LASIK and implants and other things too. But do your research. This is something to not make a quick decision, and then have a consultation, find out what you're a good candidate for, and you can continue to think about it. And I also think it's a good idea to ask the eye doctor who's taken care of you for years. You've trusted them, and they oftentimes have a great opinion.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today. Yeah. And I tell you, well, when I'm ready to ditch these contact lenses, I am definitely not trusting anybody besides you with my eyes. So
thank you so much for the great talk. I really appreciate it.
If you're not getting the clear vision you want from glasses or contacts, it might be time to visit with the vision correction experts at Vance Thompson Vision.
If you'd like to schedule a consultation to talk about which vision correction surgery is the best option for you, give them a call in Sioux Falls at 605-361-3937. You can also find out more by visiting VanceThompsonVision.com.